Hello everybody, I'm the Dining Gamer 556 and welcome back to another battle. Today we have two more creatures, the indorapter and the sentinel. We're going to be checking out, we will be looking at how they do in battle and see which of these creatures would attack. Let's look at the indorapter first, shall we? And looking at the indorapter, it's your average dinosaur. Sharp claws, teeth, a pretty good tail, and it can fight against Velociraptor Blue just fine, although it seemed to have been struggling a bit against fighting her, which does mean that it might not help it, because again, it was struggling, and it did eventually end up losing a fight in falling off a building because of it, or down a roof, I guess you could say. But even against all that, let's look at the Sentinel. I stand by what I said in my last video, that the Sentinel has very good attack. Well, being a robot, meaning just it slamming into you would hurt because it's made of metal and its tail. You can also, again, use human objects if it has them in contact, which Indoraptor can't do, which is why I give it the edge in attack. Let's look at durability. Looking at the Indoraptor, it's immune to bullets and it's extremely durable with a lot of layers of skin and armor, which definitely helps it in battle. Its only weakness is the soft underbelly. And the Sentinel, being a robot, yeah, not so good. It can hit itself in the head and deactivate pretty easily, which is why I give the Indoraptor the edge in this category. Intelligence. Yeah, this animal is stupid. Like, the intelligence on the Indoraptor is stupid. Anyway, being a weapon for war, it's supposed to be known to use tactical, strategies. It also knew it was going to be tranquilized by Wheatley, and tricked him into going to the cage and setting itself free. I don't know about you, but that's Indominus Rex level smarts, which only makes it even more crazy. This thing was intelligent. Sure, it wasn't able to use human, stuff, but that's because it knew it didn't need to. And if it had any Indominus Rex DNA in it, it'd know to find weaknesses, because that's the Indominus Rex's whole thing. It found weaknesses in animals. Like when it was fighting the T-Rex, it knew that as long as its head can't reach him, it's safe. And that honestly means Indoraptor is incredibly intelligent. And again, it tricked Wheatley into letting it free of its cage, which really does help the Indoraptor here. Because let's be honest, I don't think anything's more intelligent. This is like one of the most dangerous dinosaurs in the series. Now again, let's look at the Sentinel. It can use and fire, and it knows how to sword fight relatively well. But I just don't think it's enough against Indoraptor. Despite the fact that I know how an elevator works, so does the Indoraptor. I think the Indoraptor wins in this category. Speed. Now, since they'll probably both be fighting indoors, you should know that the Indoraptor, can run pretty fast, able to move from one side of the roof to another in rather quick succession, as well as doing pounces and jumps and relatively stuff well. It also, again, is intelligent enough to know where it needs to be speedy and where it doesn't. And if they're fighting out in the open, it'd still be fast, but it'd still be able to move relatively quickly indoors, because we see it do that in the movie. It's able to run fast, leap far, which gives it a big advantage. Let's also not forget that this thing was made from a Velociraptor, which even though I felt like Delta wasn't as quicker, this thing has the ability to have 4 legs, which means it can take more longer strides, which again definitely helps it in this situation. Now let's look at the Sentinel. Sentinel is still fast, able to crash into objects relatively quickly, and move pretty fast because it has mechanical joints and doesn't really have to fear losing energy like the Indoraptor. Because let's face it, if you're a machine, you're not going to really run out of energy. You're going to keep going, unlike the Indoraptor who has stamina. But I still think the Indoraptor would be faster than the Sentinel, and I think the Indoraptor gets the edge in this category, so I think the Indoraptor wins. The Indoraptor being a weapon for really helps it against the Sentinel.